Welcome to the Wicker Bar. You know me, I'm the host. I gotta keep it down a little low because people can hear us. The noise really travels into space. I'm Lord Ziggy Blaine. I'm the Duke of the goddamn motherfucking Delbridge. We're broadcasting live. We're broadcasting live here from Mexico City. This is day number 5. I don't know, what did we do today? We just kind of aimlessly wandered around. There wasn't really any
Georgetown Records.
We went to Georgetown Records. That was a suggestion for us to go to Georgetown Records. It would have been a little bit more exciting had there been a person from Seattle working in there, but there wasn't. And it was just full of pretty much new records, represses and stuff like that, of stuff that for my musical taste doesn't really stroke my boat. We did have the tacos de canasta, which is the tacos in a basket, and they were in a big basket lined with towels, and there was papa, frijol, or chicharrone. We got a couple of the papas, which is a potato. We had a delicious breakfast this morning of beefsteak de mexicana, which was a kind of a tough, thinly sliced piece of beef in a kind of a red sauce with green peppers. Another kind of a green pepper, it wasn't really spicy, and some tomatoes. And then that came with some chicharron with salsa verde, rice and beans. Very delicious. I wouldn't say that it was the best breakfast that we'd had over there, but we're just kind of like going with the flow. The guy just starts telling us what there is. It's surprises. We'll have a little of everything. So yesterday, or the day before, it was suggested that I make a cocktail with the scorpion. Yes. So we went to the market that sells the bugs, and that's the Mercado de
San
Juan. And it's kind of more, I don't know, maybe it's more of a novelty type of a thing. I think the tourists are there. There definitely is guys that are selling the different dried insects that are definitely for the locals, but then there is like a bar that's set up there where they have a nice kind of like a little wooden platter, like you get a cheese plate on with a different selection of bugs that you're supposed to taste with your mezcal. We just went to the guy that had the bulk ones there. So as it turned out, I mentioned earlier on, we went and found this liquor store that had some small bottles. Got on the internet, looked up how to make the scorpion, and this cocktail is in Cocktails and Mixed Drinks from the Wicker Bar. Don't forget to order yours. I'd have to ship it out when I get back. So we were able to find a little bottle of rum and it calls for cognac or brandy. We found a little bottle of brandy, and the hardest thing was the orgeat. So we looked around. We went to a bunch of different places that sold halfway fancy coffee drinks. So we were looking for, say it right, almond syrup. So we couldn't find
Siropa de almejeras.
Yes, we couldn't find any
Almendra.
But what I did know is I've seen these little things. They're usually the kind that we used yesterday was the Rosa variety. It's a little bit bigger. It's kind of a puck, and I'm not really exactly if you eat it as a candy or if you use it for baking. I'm not really honestly sure what you use it for. But I knew that this marzipan has an almond flavor. So what I did is I took one of these, equal amounts of this, equal amounts of water, and I made a syrup. But then today, as we were walking around, we went looking for another liquor store, and we knew that we were in a neighborhood that we probably shouldn't be in, because when you get into a neighborhood where all the convenience stores, they're barred up, and if you want something from inside the store, you have to tell the person they'll go get it for you. So we did find the liquor store. It was like that, and then I said, we need to kind of like start working our way back. As we were working our way back, we did find a little coffee person selling coffee, and they had 4 flavors. One of them was almond syrup. He charged us 25 pesos for this, which was like just a little over $1. So I'm going to mix it up with the syrup that we already made, and just to let you know that we carried this in this cup like this well over a mile back to where we are. We did stop off. We had to come home before we stopped off to get a beer, but that's what we did. It was definitely a labor of love, and that is, necessity is the mother of invention when you're making a cocktail here. So,
And the sidewalks.
And the sidewalks here are, they're not, they're not very flat. That's, if you, sorry, this isn't to like, rub it in or anything, but if you ever do get a chance to go to China and you get a chance to walk on the Great Wall, you wonder how these guys did it. It's like very, very difficult, very, very difficult to walk on. And this is how the sidewalks are here. Even in the swishy areas, you'll be walking along and there's like a big hole, like a hole in the sidewalk. So what we decided to do this evening is we're going to do our best version of the scorpion bowl. Are you ready? Here they are. We got 2 scorpions. Oh, look at that. And he packed it on top of a bunch of these grasshoppers, cipolinis. They're not bad. I'm trying to figure out what it tastes like. It tastes like a specific vegetable. They're not too bad. They're actually pretty delicious. So Stephen Holitz, the Garnish King, said, yeah, if you could freeze dry a couple of lime slices and have the scorpion floating on there, well,
Dehydrate.
You're supposed to sprinkle these with salt and have salt and lime and have a little mezcal with them when you're eating the bugs. We would have had to wait around all day to dry the lime slices out in the oven there. And we did kind of look to see if we could find a kind of a fancy bowl. We couldn't. Straws. We went by. There's a lot of guys and gals that have stands that are selling different types of juices. I asked the guy how much for a couple of straws. He said, just go ahead and take them. So we got a couple of straws here. We have our bowl. We have our ice. We have our orgeat. We have our best we could do for a small bottle of rum. Best we could do for a small bottle of brandy. Freshly squeezed orange juice. Freshly squeezed lime juice. We've got some scorpions. I got a lime slice. I got a bowl. I got some ice. I'm going to make this happen. Are you ready? Really, you can eat the scorpion? She said, you know I am, Blaine. I like putting things in my mouth. All right, so here we go. So we're going for 1.5 ounces of our rum. If we were staying here for 2 or 3 weeks and it was worth getting good bottles, because actually the booze down here is not that much, and they have, due to free trade, lots of stuff from Cuba down here, but we can't bring that home, which I really wish we could. That'd be really, really cool. Then we're going to go for 3/4 of an ounce of our brandy or cognac, whichever you may have, and where we are right now, that's what we were able to find. Then we're going to go 2 ounces of our freshly squeezed orange juice. This is like 3 different kinds of oranges I squeezed to make this. That's 1.5. That's 2. And we're going to go 1 ounce of lime juice. And 3/4 of an ounce of our janky homemade orgeat. This is what we did. And I tasted it. I tried to get the bits out. There were some bits that were in there. They taste a little bit more like peanuts, but I know that there are recipes on how to make this yourself, and I don't know if you somehow macerate almonds or something. We could have gone to all that trouble, but we did want to get out and enjoy. I'll eat a few more of these crickets while we're here. Oh, that's an ant. No, I like the crickets better. Okay. Now, what is that taste? It's escaping me. Get a couple of ice cubes in here. Look at that. Then you need your scorpion bowl. Oh, and just so you know that not everything here is really all that great. One thing that you do have to get used to is you can't flush your toilet paper. I guess just because of the way the city was laid out, it's so old, it just doesn't have the infrastructure. And most of these places have a septic tank, so it's kind of weird for a building this big to have a septic tank. And they also don't have like gas lines that are running to the buildings. And today we saw trucks going around and they were bringing gas to the buildings. And we also saw a few trucks that were bringing potable, which means drinkable water, into more fancy buildings where people need to be able to they need to drink their oh, look at that, Rayo, the scorpion, where you have to be able to drink water out of the oh, look at that. I don't know. I'm gonna put the 2 straws in there. Does it get any more real than that? That is the Scorpion Bowl here from Mexico City, day 5. It's Friday. There is Lucha Libre at Arena Mexico. Again, tonight we're not going, but I think after we're making dinner, I've got my red sauce has been simmering over here on the stovetop. I need to check it for seasoning. I'm going to brown off the chicken, toss it in there. I'm going to peel a potato, get a little potato in there, have a little zucchini, a little carrot I'm going to put in there as well. And then when we're done eating, we are going to go trip around up there because it's going to be really, really nuts. And I'm going to do a little filming of the traffic up there because it's just like, I mean, New York is known for horns. You hear more horns here, but I don't believe I've heard a horn. I mean, it's like they're honking before the light even turns green. And bicycles and motorcycles, and nobody stops for you. Not a bicycle, not a motorcycle, not a car, not even people don't even get out of your way. And even when they're old people walking by, which was kind of weird. We were walking a couple of days ago, there's this old man and he's just barely able to go, and these young people aren't letting him go. It's like, and I said to him, I said, no respect, that just wasn't cool. So here we go. And tomorrow we are going to a tiki place that Rael found that's not too far from us, and we are going to go to the punk rock market that's very, very famous here in Mexico City. I guess it is bootleg heaven, and lots of people here selling records on the street, in little booths, which is really cool. I don't have the time to sift through a bunch of classic rock and stuff like that to bring back 10 or 15 or 20 records to really make it worth my while. I might find something tomorrow. I might get a couple of bootleg shirts. But anyway, what else did I forget, Rael? That's about it. We're gonna go back out. We're gonna go back out tonight, but maybe we'll find some churros or something. A little postre, a little dessert for after our spicy chicken. But there it is, the Scorpion Bowl. That's the real deal, motherfuckers. You might eat that scorpion. Let me get another one of these crickets here. Yeah. What is that taste? It's a vegetable. I don't know. It's eluding me. All right. Peace out. We'll be back tomorrow, Saturday night, happy hour. Tonight, Friday, happy hour from the liquor bar. I mean, you can tell we walked a lot farther today than we thought we were going to. We're not done yet. All right, I'm out of here. Get out of here.